Okay, so tomorrow you're going to be able to, you're expected to have this knowledge of what to do given a problem that looks like this. This is an exponential problem. We have x to the fifth over x to the third. And I sort of wrote this out. You know x to the fifth means x times x times x times x times x, right? So that's 5, so x to the fifth. X to the third means x, x, and x, okay? So normally what we could say, pen here, is x over x is equal to 1. Just like 5 over 5 is 1, 10 over 10 is 1. Whatever that number x is, it's over itself, and that equals 1. So we can cross that out. And here's another set of x's, and here's another set of x's I can cross off. And I'm left with 2 x's on top. So very simply, the answer to this problem is x squared, okay? Because 3 sets of x's crossed off and there's 2 left on top. So that is x squared. Now, the rule to this is when you have a problem where the base number is the same, and the base number here is x, the base number here is y. Here we have several base numbers. We have x and y. Okay, so when these are the same, if you think about it, you should find my answer here is to the second power, and you should notice you can do something to this 5 and 3 to get 2. And it's 5 minus 3 is 2, and that makes sense because I have 3 on the bottom. So those will cross off with 3 on the top, and I'll be left with 2. So instead of writing out all those x's to solve this problem, I could have said x to the fifth minus 3, because here's my 5 and here's my 3. So 5 minus 3 gives me x to the 2, like that. So here's another example. In this case, I have x to the second over, y to the second over y to the fifth, okay? So again, y to the second is y times y, and y to the fifth is y times y times y times y times y. And again, y over y equals 1, so I can cross off that set of y's, and I can cross off with this set of y's. And if you look, I'm left with 3 y's on the bottom. And remember, we said these crossed off because y over y is 1. So my answer here is going to be 1 over y to the third. Okay? And our subtraction rule works the same as well as up here. Here I have 2 over 5. So that becomes y. And then if we subtract our exponents, 2 minus 5, that would give me y to the negative 3. And then we've learned a couple weeks ago to make any exponent negative, positive, we switch whether it's on top or bottom. So this one's on top because it's y to the negative 1 over 3. So if I want to make that positive, I can put it y 1 over y to the third. Or you could also just leave it this way too. But you need to recognize it could be in either form. Okay, so again, the rule to dividing exponents is to subtract the integers here, 2 minus 5, okay? And the same thing's going to go down here, okay? If we look at this, the first thing I want to do is I'm going to look at my numbers here. I have 15 over 5. Can I simplify that? Sure, 15 divided by 5 gives me 3. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Now I'm just going to use my rule. I have x to the second, and then this is x to the 1 power, but we don't write it, okay? And my rule is I subtract the exponents. So this is going to be x, and then 2 minus 1. Okay? And then I'm going to look at my y's, because they have the same base of y. And then this becomes y, and then this is 3 minus 5. Okay? So now I want to simplify my exponents. I'm going to leave my 3 here. 2 minus 1 gives me x to the 1, or just x. And then I have my y, and that's 3 minus 5, which is negative 2. And so I can leave my answer like this. But sometimes your problems will tell you write all answers with positive exponents. And if that's the case, I'm going to write my 3 and my x is to the positive 1. To make to the negative 2 positive, I've got to bring it down below. And it becomes x to the negative 2 becomes x to the positive 2. Okay? So really what I want you to remember for your rule for tomorrow, and when you walk into class, you're going to be given a series of problems like this, is when dividing exponents with the same base, okay, remember your base is the bottom number that you begin with, subtract the exponents. And that's it. Okay, so all we did up here is we did 5 minus 3, x to the second, 2 minus 5, y to the negative third, 2 minus 1 is x to the first, 3 minus 5 is x to the negative second, and then if you have numbers here, you just go ahead and divide those. Okay. For your homework tonight, you are going to do, in your skills book, you're going to go to page 404 to 407, and you're going to complete problems 20 through 42 even. Okay, so that'll be it, and I will see you in the morning. And also make sure that you have your rule. You could write it down in your skills book here or on a separate sheet of paper, but make sure you have your rule about dividing exponents. Okay, see you tomorrow. Have a great night.